Welcome to the Lion Live channel. On today's episode, I'm going to be telling you lions why you need to be in your child's life from day one. I want all my lions to listen. You should never abandon your child. You should be present in that child's life from the moment they come out the womb all the way to adulthood. The highest rate of children living in single parent household occurs right here in this country in comparison to the rest of the world. About 80% of single parent homes are led by single mothers. We will go into why that occurs in another episode, so look out for that one. We should put an end to having children that grow up without having a father, a lion around for positive influences. If you already find yourself in this situation, my lions, make sure you don't repeat that mistake again and do what you can to be in your child's life. I know that can be hard, especially with these vindictive baby mothers that you have roaming the world these days, but do what you can. Doesn't matter how small, just do what you can. Men, you need to build yourself up and pick a feminine lady who loves you or is willing to get on your program and want the same thing you want, which is to settle down and have a family. If you did not know before, you will learn that your children need to have both parents in the household in order to increase their chances of having success in life. And there are many statistical data available to back that up with. Now, my lions, we want the best outcome for our children, don't we? And that means being there for them from day one, like I said before. We don't abandon our children. Never. Never. Okay, lions? Us lions need to spread our seed in one spot only, not all over town. If you go spread your seed carelessly, you'll be exposing yourself to having children with someone you do not wish to settle down with. And guess what will happen, my lions? Any child produced will more than likely be without a constant father figure in his or her life. That child will be getting the worst outcome in life. And lions don't want their children to have the worst option in life or even the worst outcome in life. Do not deprive your child from having a masculine man and a feminine lady living together in the same house and showing that child how a family unit should be. Now, lions, you are a very important part of your child's life, and don't you ever forget that. Let me give you a few statistics on how being away from your child can affect them throughout their lives. Number one thing, children who come from fatherless homes, they tend to have self-esteem problems. They tend to have emotional and anxiety problems. These children can have social withdrawal issues that increases their shyness. They have increased depression risk, which can increase their suicidal tendencies. Do you know that without a father, a child is 25% more likely to be raised in poverty? Why? That's an easy one. Because being raised with a mother alone means only one income is in the household. This situation is not for a lion. You see me? Now, fatherlessness has been linked to the abortion rate among our children. And of course, teen pregnancy is also linked to the lack of a father figure to teach his daughter on how to deal with men as she grows up. Now, my lions, let's take a look at this website. It's called fatherhood.org. We can see some of the statistical data compiled in a simple format for you. Let's read some of the bad influence you can have in your child's life just by being away from them. This website keeps a lot of statistics on the benefits of being a father, so let's go over there and see what they have to show us. This site has tons of information for new fathers, old fathers, and those wanting to learn how to be a super father. Let me scroll down to get some more of the father facts. Let's go through a few of these issues going on with the father crisis that's now plaguing America. Or rather, I should say the lack of father crisis that's now plaguing America. Now you can see a listing of all the bad effects not being in your child's life will be. Okay? For example, my lions. If you're not there for your child, that child will be 4 times more likely to be living in poverty, like I said before. It's being rewritten here, but same thing. Okay? That child is more likely to have behavioral issues. That child is also more likely to go to prison. And of course, that child is more likely to commit crimes. And of course, you're going to commit crimes, you can almost guess that that child is also more likely to partake in drugs. And the list goes on, because not everything you see on the screen that's not all there is. There are more that aren't here. If you dig deep into this website, you can find a lot more information. But you can see all the bad things. Fathers, always remember that you are needed in that child's life, no matter what anyone tells you, no matter what the world is trying to tell you. You are required. You are a super important part of that child's life. Some would even, I would even make the argument you may be even more important than the mother, but we're not going to do that today. That's for another show. But you are as important as the mother. Now, what strengths do you bring to your child's life? Let's go through a few of these. When you're around your child, many wonderful outcomes are possible for your baby. For example, the risk of that child dying before, during, or after birth goes down drastically. So, if that's the case, then you're going to have a low birth rate risk. The possibility of a child being born with a low weight drops down. If that child's going to have behavioral problems, that possibility goes down if you're around. Poor school performance, it goes down if father is around. And the list goes on and on and on here as well. And like I said before, this listing they have here doesn't cover all the wonderful things that you bring to your child's life. Many of these things you bring to your child's life cannot be quantified by science, period. Now, my lions, pay attention to how valuable you are to your child. You are irreplaceable. A mother can never be a father to her son or daughter. Only you can. Okay? I'm sure you've heard the story about, single mothers. They always like to say, I'm the child's mother and their father. That's a big pack of crap. A mother cannot be a father. Okay? She can be a mother only to her child, because she doesn't know what it is to be a man, so she can't be a father. But you've heard that many times. Now, lions, this next listing is for the mothers who may be watching this. No matter what your feelings are for the father of your child, you do want him to be involved in that child's life. Don't be going around saying, I can do it all by myself, I don't need nobody. That's a sign of a selfish mother who puts her feelings ahead of her child. Don't let your hatred for the father take over to where you use that baby against him. Focus on what is best for that child. And I know this is a hard request to seek from some, but that is what smart adults are supposed to do. Don't you want the best for your baby? Now, mothers, here's why you should have the child's fathers involved in all facets of the baby's life from the jump. You know, the data says that when a father is involved, the mother is more likely to receive prenatal care. Simple. You have an involved father who wants to take care of his child from before the child is born, during the child being inside the womb, and afterwards. Okay, he's going to want the mother to put her best foot forward, and he's going to encourage her to put her best foot forward, and he's going to be involved and make sure he's involved. And we're talking about lions here, okay? We're not talking about those loser men out there. We're talking about lions, men who want and love their children and know how important it is to be in that child's life. Now, also, when a father is involved, the mother is less likely to smoke during pregnancy. When a father is involved, the child will come into this world more healthy than those with no father. When a father is involved, postpartum stress for the mother is reduced. Knowing she has help work wonders for a woman's peace of mind. When a father is involved, mothers can have more leisure time. You can leave that child with the father and go do what you need to do. And as always, The list goes on and on and on and on. And not everything is represented here on this slide. So mothers, don't forget the father is needed in your child's life. Fathers, my lions, like I said to you, you can go to this website, look around, learn a thing or two. They have tons of resources for you to learn, get some pointers on how to improve on being an exceptional father, especially for those among us who never grew up with one. Lions, check out this clip from a lady called Jennifer Moleski, and she will give you some more reasons on why you should be in your child's life. Check it out.
So my idea is to keep families intact. Girls with no fathers in the home have lower self-esteem. Okay, fine, that sucks, but also women with low self-esteem are more promiscuous. So girls with high self-esteem don't have, sex. Boys with high self-esteem have more sex, but hopefully they're covering that over there. No father families more likely to be victims of abuse, especially with single mothers. Single mothers men just tend to be more predatorial. But either way, there's violence and abuse. And this is sexual and physical. We know this. Children with high BMI more often come from fatherless homes. Here's something interesting. Say that word, I can't say it. Authoritarian. Thank you. Fathers have the fittest children. I thought that was kind of cool. I'm not saying that I want that, but you just be whatever you want. But that was really interesting to me. The more opportunities a child has to interact with biological father, the less likely they are to commit a crime or have contact with the juvenile justice system. Okay, another way to say that is men and women who are incarcerated, the population of the prisons mostly encompass fatherless homes. Now, here's something that no one else has mentioned, which I think is cool, and I don't really say this eloquently. If a man and wife raise a child, they're less likely to end up in jail, but they have the same statistical chance as children raised by just their father. So if we want to keep children, adults, out of prison, mother, father, or just father. Well, we don't want to hear just father, so let's try to keep the families intact. I think that just seems.
Now, Lions, you've seen everything we can show you in this episode. We could go for a few more hours on this topic, but I know you get the importance of you in your child's life. The best option is to make sure you don't have any child that you know you're not going to be around. Do not run around town spreading your seed. As Frisco Kid said back in the 80s, listen to this. Okay, you hear that from Frisco Kid? Make sure you put some protection upon your anaconda. Protect yourself at all times until you have built yourself up in value and is ready for a family with a feminine lady who is willing to get on your program. As discussed already, this will be the best option for you, your wife, and most importantly, for this episode, your beautiful babies. You see me? Me gone again. Hold tight.